Hey guys, wanted to do a repot and I figured let me take you along for the ride. I am repotting a Primulina, which is related to African violets, into semi-hydroponics using lava rock because that's my favorite, lava rock. So what you need for this is, or what I use for this, is a plastic cup that I cut the edge off of for drainage. Little hole there. A cashpo, as they call it, which is really just a receptacle to hold a reservoir of nutrient solution. But because I'm freshly putting this into semi-hydro, it's just going to be water, I guess, for the first week or two before I start adding a very mild nutrient solution. I don't want to shock the plant. This was in sphagnum moss. Originally it was in soil. I moved it to sphagnum moss. The moss, because it was in such a small pot, kept drying out too quickly. So I said, all right, let me move this to my semi-hydro like I have so many other violets and other Primulina, and of course my other coleus and other plants. So I figured let's do that, and let's do it on camera. So I had rinsed out my lava rock to get rid of the dust so it's all clean. So what I'm going to do is start by filling in a base of lava rock in my cup. Let's see. I'm about a third of the way up. Let me measure with my plant. Oh, and just obviously you have to clean the roots really well if you want to transfer anything over to semi-hydro. These were relatively clean because they were in moss for months. So moss is a lot easier to remove than soil, and it's not as dirty. So let me see. I don't want these to hit the very bottom. This looks good to me because I don't want the roots at the very bottom. I just want them to be in the moisture-wicked area, which this looks like it would be. So I'm putting this in. I got to do this with two hands. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see. All right, like this. Let's do it like this. Now I'm going to start filling in around the roots as best I can. Really isn't much to it. I know you probably can't see right now, but just give me a minute. Okay, a little more on this side, and then we are good. Okay. So you can see the crown is not deep in the lava rock. I have the crown just at the surface of it. I don't want that crown to stay wet or get wet for too long because that will create crown rot. This family of plants is notorious for crown rot when it is moist for too long. So this looks good to me. Very quick, very easy, right? This was in a little bit of water. I'm going to discard that because I don't want this water. I want the fresh water that I got here. So I'm going to put the plant, newly potted, into the cashpo, which is the reservoir, and I'm going to pour in my water. And again, this is just pure clean water. It's not fortified with any nutrient at this point. And because the roots are right about here, like a third of the way down, I don't want them to be sitting in the water in the reservoir right now. I'd rather them grow into it so they don't get shocked and die, and then I have to unpot it, clean it up, repot it, pain in the butt. But this is looking good for now, and as time goes on, I can fill up the reservoir maybe about halfway if you want. Usually they do it to like a third of the way up is the rule. Third of the way up, and eventually let the plant drink up the nutrients. You can then flush this because it has that drainage. Flush it in the sink or in the shower outside, whatever you want to do. And, you know, to get rid of any of the accumulation of salts. Yeah, so that's it. This one's going to do pretty well, I'm pretty sure. I have so many of these in semi-hydro. And that's all there is to it. Really, it's not a difficult situation. Sometimes, if the plant is not doing so well when you're transferring it, or if it doesn't have a good root system, you're probably going to want to tent it. So you're going to put like a plastic bag or something like that over it to keep the humidity in while the plant recovers and grows new roots in the semi-hydro setup. This one has enough roots, and it's been, I've had it for almost a year maybe, many months, and it's doing really well, but I just don't want to have to keep watering it in the moss like every few days. So this way I can water it once, maybe once a week, once every 10 days, should be fine. And this plant already bloomed for me, and because I kept forgetting to water it, it kind of stopped blooming, because these plants are notorious to continuously bloom. They'll just bloom their heads off. So because it kept going dry, it stopped blooming. It said, all right, I gotta hold my reserves because this guy is not watering me enough. So hopefully we'll get some blooms, and then I'll show you that in the video too. If you have any questions on anything that I've done, if you have any questions on any of the materials that I use, just shoot a note in the comment section and I'll get right back to you. Otherwise, we are good to go. And thanks for watching, appreciate it. If you haven't, feel free to subscribe. I do a lot of these videos, especially lately. And I will see you in the next video.